Yo, what is going on, guys? Freaky Trades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, though, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. And with that more being said, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list. So, going to be a pretty short watch list this time around. There isn't too much going on. There are a lot of mediocre side watch list setups that I do have, but those aren't ones I want to cover in the video. Those will be saved specifically for the Stock Hours group chat on WAP. So, going into earnings this week, there is not too much going on. There's literally zero stocks that I am looking at, so nothing I'm too interested on that I will just be skipping out on. So first things first on the watch list here is NQ and ES. So if I go to NQ here on the 4-hour time frame, you guys can see what I would be looking at. It'll be the 19,200 area. Now, you guys know that I have covered this before in the past with looking at this 200 level here. It is pretty important on NQ. It is the bottom of the range that we were previously stuck in 2 weeks prior, like maybe 2 to 3 weeks prior. So 19,200 is the area that I'm looking at. No trend lines to really look out for on that. ES, next crucial point on this would be 5,550. 55.50 on here for me saying it short, but areas that I'd be looking out for the downside would be 5,600, 55.50, and then room down to 5,500 on that. So that's what I have for ES, and it's literally just bottom of ranges that we're looking for with the indexes at this point. So pretty straightforward with what we're looking at. No trend lines, no nothing. So first thing on my watch list that I have is Amazon. Amazon, it is ahead of the market right now compared to NQ and ES with where Amazon is currently at with the bottom of the range. So with Amazon here, I'd be keeping an eye out for 190, and then with target of 189 here around this low at this 189.38, roughly 189 would be my target on this on Amazon though, because really a dollar move on Amazon is all you need on this stock to really pay a lot on it, more than 20 to 30% on that easily, especially if it's ahead, it has the volatility, the premiums are jumping, you have everything in your favor at that point. Next up is Meta. Now, the only downside about Meta here is when this was at the bottom of the range at 575, that was an area of interest that we were looking at, but recently now on Friday, we did end up breaking it by $1. Now, this is part of my main watch list because, one, this is a really nice flat bottom that we have at 575, and two, Meta is just a really good stock that we really have on our watch list. So the only downside with this is that since it did close around 575, there's a good chance that this setup is just broken and it doesn't save itself for Monday or the oncoming week that we have going on. So only downside is literally that it's just sitting at our level for the meantime. So Meta 575 with room down to 570 is what I have for this. And then last but not least, Tesla. Like I said, it's a really short watch list, pretty straightforward with what we're looking at. Tesla here, I would be looking at the 260 level. Now, we haven't been down here for an entire week, and then when we did test it, it was a major breakout. So that's what I would be keeping my eyes out for. 260 is the level, and then along with that, we also have a 1-hour downtrend here as well that gives us room all the way down to roughly 259, 258, depending on where we're at on Monday. But usually down to that room. The other thing that I do want to mention with Tesla, though, is we also have a gap here from 256.33 all the way down to 249.52, so roughly a $6 gap, $5-6 gap here, which is more than enough to catch another move on Tesla if this is weak and ahead of the market as well. Now, obviously, you know, if you look at the bigger time frame picture, Tesla is not ahead by any means here. Pretty far away from the downside when the market did sell off a bit, so really pretty far away on this, so we want to be a little bit careful here. But with the weakness in the weak sentiment that Tesla can have behind it could be pretty significant for us to try and catch something on this. So, but like I said, guys, this is a pretty short watch list, pretty straight to the point, and only 3 stocks that we're really looking at, especially with the indexes both going back down into the ranges that we were looking at. There really isn't too much left to really look at that. So with that much more being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. And with that much more being said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace out.